Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday, the 16th of May and Friday, the 17th of May, 2019. Last update of the week, most likely. As usual, we don't do market updates for Friday. And since this is options expiration, this probably won't be an exception. We may have seen the options unraveling move today as the markets gapped down and rallied, although the second half of the day was pretty flat, but it did hold up from the opening level. So let's take a look. Here's the ES front month futures contract. Daily chart of the broad market futures form. We bounced right off that red static trend line for a day here. We'll look at the intraday action in a minute. Crude oil up 42 cents to 62.44. Gold down a buck 20. The S&P cash index ends up gaining 16.55. Again, we'll look back at the gaps here in a minute. The Nasdaq 100 up 101.37, recovering part of the loss from the prior day. The SOX up 11.67. Doesn't really do much for you. The biotech's up 23.6 run. The Russell gains 5 points. That's just a blip on the Russell index. The VIX back down to 16.44, down a buck 62. The trend closes at 1.43, pretty high actually. Keeps that 10-day moving average at 1.28. Nasdaq volume 2 billion shares. Again, the up days are light volume. This is the lightest volume day we've seen in 2 weeks. The up days are light volume. The selling is real and the bounces are not. So just keep that in the back of your head. That's always the warning sign. Advanced decline ratio on the Nasdaq plus 416, on the New York plus 958. Google gains 45.94. That's a huge day. One of the biggest days in Google in a while. Trying to head back up. Apple up $2.26. About the same place on the chart as Google is. Netflix up $9.38. Amazon up 31.03. Tesla down 36 cents, hanging near, actually at the lows of the year. Facebook up $5.54. Goldman Sachs gains 12 cents and is still sitting nowhere for the year. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 77 cents. The Dow was up only 115 on the Dow. That seems kind of light considering everything else that was going on. Looking at the 5-minute chart. So, again, we had been, Monday we gapped down and headed a little bit lower. Tuesday we gapped up a little, tried to head higher, but rolled back in the afternoon, ended up about where we started Monday, a little bit higher. But then here on Wednesday we gap up. We gapped down, and then headed up, filled the gap, went a little higher, and going into lunch was basically the high of the day. We closed at the same level that was, and also we had a 13 sell signal coming back from lunch. That was pretty much the top for the session, so there was nothing to do in the afternoon. But that takes us back to 28.56, and the gap fill is 28.85 from last Friday's close. So we haven't gotten there yet, but we could obviously get there. NASDAQ side about the same, and no, we're not back to that gap fill either, which is 7,600. So it's the same math. We still have a gap above there. We still have the gap below from Monday's close going into Tuesday. All right, so in terms of economic data coming out in the week that's left here, Thursday, housing starts and building permits along with the Philly Fed and the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims an hour before the bell on Thursday. Natty gas an hour in. Friday, preliminary University of Michigan sentiment and the CB leading index at 10 a.m., 30 minutes into the market. But it is option expiration for May. So Friday probably won't be that exciting. We'll see what we do for Thursday, and then the first hour of the day on Friday. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading Thursday. And